discuss about the nodejs architecture and how it works in the asynchronous flow and what the specific terms mean, how Node.js works, and what is the reason behind it to use Node.js. So actually Node.js is basically backend framework which is built in JavaScript library, and it is mainly used to create input output intensive web applications such as chat apps. So there is an input and output communication, like on one end you are sending the communication and the other end the server is receiving, means the receiver part is taking. So that is chat app, you can say, and multimedia streaming sites where you can see that any application like OTT application is there, Netflix applications are there. So various streaming sites use the Node.js application which use the asynchronous mode of JavaScript. Means without refreshing, our data gets loaded in that case. So it is built in basically Google Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. So that is basically web application which is a soft runs on the server and it's rendered by client browser. Means Chrome browser is controlling the entire request and it accesses all the application resources through the internet. Okay, so that is the functioning of Node.js, where we have seen that how it works and what is the basic architecture. Now here the client is there, means like we have to manage the request through client, which is it interacts with the user by sending the request, and in the way server which is taking the request in the form of a client request and they can perform the task. So it acts as a bridge between front end and for storing data. Okay, so this is, you can say, pattern of input and output operations. Okay, next is database. So database is where the application is stored. So after making this input output request, suppose we have a chat application. Okay, so in that chat application, suppose I have to do the transfer of a means from two-way communication. So that two-way communication is stored in the database, and that then this request can be modified. So this client's request, they can be created, modified, and also they can be deleted when it is not required. So this is the Node.js architecture. Now we can see the diagramming part where we how the application is hosted and how the JavaScript engine will manage the request transfer request between the client and server, as we have seen here. Okay, so we will check for the application which is our Node.js application is there. Now how the JavaScript engine, suppose it's our V8 JavaScript engine is there, where it is manages the Chrome extension part. Okay, so basically Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine it is using for Chrome. It manages the entire life cycle of Node.js, and in that way also the API is there which is used to manage the get, put, and post request. So now how the operating system calls works. So that works through means of JavaScript engine. Okay, which is made in Chrome, which we have discussed here, which is made in Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. Okay, so this request is transferred by async call. Suppose we are doing a chat application and the messages are stored in the event queue. Okay, now this event queue will be managing a loop. So it will handle the callback of each user when it is sending the data, and in terms it also executes in an event loop. Suppose if you have to generate the request through server, okay, after receiving at the server it will again send, and it will also block the request. So the blocking mechanism is maintained in a worker of thread, a thread process it's mentioned. So that's a file system where all the chat files are getting stored, and over the network it manages the asynchronous mode of input output operations. Okay, so this is all about our Node.js basic architecture, where we will how it works, for what is the background, okay, system architecture, how it is being developed as a JavaScript engine, and in the next videos we will see the crude operations in Node.js. So thank you for watching.